The Earth is warming. This is not a debate, it's a fact. Across the United States, we see the evidence every day. From raging wildfires in California to more powerful hurricanes battering the East Coast, the impacts of climate change are real and they are here. For America, a nation built on innovation and leadership, the time for action is now. We cannot afford to be passive observers in this global crisis. Our nation's history is one of confronting challenges head-on, from overcoming economic depressions to leading the fight for freedom. Climate change is no different. It is a test of our ingenuity, our resilience, and our commitment to future generations. The decisions we make today will determine the kind of world we leave for our children and grandchildren. We have a moral obligation to act, not just for ourselves, but for those who will inherit the planet after us. Rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and disruptions to agriculture threaten the stability of communities and nations worldwide. America, as a global leader, has a responsibility to be at the forefront of the fight for climate justice. This is not just an environmental issue, it's an economic one, a social one, and a security one. Addressing climate change presents an opportunity to create new jobs, improve public health, and strengthen national security. By investing in clean energy, energy efficiency, and climate-resilient infrastructure, we can build a stronger, more prosperous, and more secure future for all Americans. The Earth is warming. This is not a debate, it's a fact. Across the United States, we see the evidence every day. From raging wildfires in California to more powerful hurricanes battering the East Coast, the impacts of climate change are real, and they are here. For America, a nation built on innovation and leadership, the time for action is now. President Biden entered office with a clear message. Climate change is a top priority. His administration wasted no time in rejoining the Paris Agreement, a landmark international accord aimed at limiting global warming. This signaled a renewed commitment to global cooperation and a dedication to slashing greenhouse gas emissions. The Biden administration set ambitious goals, aiming to cut U.S. emissions in half by 2030 and achieve net zero emissions by 2050. These targets, grounded in scientific consensus, represent a significant step towards aligning the United States with the urgent action needed to avert the worst impacts of climate change. To achieve these goals, the administration championed the Inflation Reduction Act, a historic investment in clean energy and climate action. This legislation provides billions of dollars in funding for renewable energy projects, electric vehicle infrastructure, and initiatives aimed at reducing carbon emissions across various sectors of the economy. Recognizing that climate change is a global challenge requiring global solutions, the Biden administration pledged to increase financial support for developing nations to assist them in their own clean energy transitions. This commitment to international cooperation is crucial for ensuring a just and equitable response to a problem that affects us all. The Trump administration took a markedly different approach to climate change. President Trump, skeptical of the science and dismissive of the urgency, rolled back environmental regulations, withdrew the United States from the Paris Agreement, and championed the fossil fuel industry. These actions represented a significant setback for climate progress, both domestically and internationally. The withdrawal from the Paris Agreement in particular sent a message to the world that the United States was abdicating its leadership role on this critical issue. The Trump administration's focus on deregulation and fossil fuel production had tangible consequences. Environmental protections were weakened, air and water quality suffered, and the country's trajectory on greenhouse gas emissions veered further off course. While the Trump administration's policies may have appealed to a narrow segment of the population, they were met with widespread condemnation from scientists, environmental groups, and many business leaders who recognize the economic and social risks of inaction on climate change. Section 4. Beyond politics, the power of markets and innovation. The fight against climate change is not solely reliant on government action. Market forces and technological innovation are playing an increasingly significant role in driving the transition to a cleaner, more sustainable future. The cost of renewable energy sources like solar and wind has plummeted in recent years, making them increasingly competitive with fossil fuels. Electric vehicles, once a niche market, are rapidly gaining popularity as battery technology improves and prices become more affordable. major automakers are investing heavily in electric vehicle production, signaling a shift away from the internal combustion engine. Consumers are also becoming more conscious of the environmental impact of their choices. From energy-efficient appliances to plant-based diets, individuals are making decisions that collectively contribute to a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. This confluence of market forces, technological advancements, and changing consumer behavior is creating a powerful momentum for change, independent of the political winds in Washington. Section 5. A call for unity, securing a sustainable future for all. Climate change is not a partisan issue, it's a human issue. It affects us all, regardless of political affiliation, and it demands a unified response. We must move beyond the false dichotomy of jobs versus the environment, and recognize that a healthy economy and a healthy planet go hand in hand. We need leaders who understand the urgency of the climate crisis and are committed to taking bold action. We need citizens who are engaged and informed, demanding accountability from their elected officials. And we need businesses that are willing to innovate and invest in a sustainable future. The challenges ahead are significant, but so too is our capacity for innovation, compassion, and collective action. By working together, we can build a future where our children and grandchildren inherit a planet that is healthy, vibrant, and sustainable for generations to come. This is our moment to rise to the challenge, to answer the call of history, and to secure a brighter future for all.